Today, on January 15, 2026, you are living inside a financial experiment you never signed up for. You think interest rates are just numbers on a screen, but they are quietly deciding if you will ever own a home, escape debt, or actually retire. The brutal truth is simple. The Federal Reserve is telling you, without saying it out loud, that your life will stay expensive for a long time. Right now, top officials at the Fed are signaling no urgency to cut rates soon. Markets expect rates to stay higher for longer. Because inflation is still too sticky for them to relax, you are hoping for cheaper money. They are preparing you for the opposite. Brutal truth number 1. High rates are not an accident, they are a strategy. When inflation started to run hot, the Fed slammed on the brakes by pushing interest rates up fast. They did it to cool the economy, slow down spending, and force prices to stop running away. You are feeling that strategy every time you look at mortgage rates, car loans, or credit card interest. Here is what nitrogen monoxide wants to admit. The Fed is not trying to protect your lifestyle, it is trying to protect the system. Brutal truth number 2. Your cost of money just became your biggest unseen expense. Every dollar you borrow now comes with a heavier chain attached. Higher rates mean credit cards that eat your paycheck faster. Higher rates mean mortgage payments that crush your budget. Higher rates mean businesses that think twice before hiring or expanding. You used to think your biggest cost was rent, or groceries, or gas. Today, your biggest cost is the price of time itself. Because that is what interest really is. Brutal truth number 3. The Fed does not feel your pain the way you do. When officials say there is nitrogen monoxide urgency to cut rates, they are looking at charts, averages, and macro trends. They see an economy with decent job growth, stable markets, and inflation that is still too high for their tastes. They do not see you doing math at midnight, asking yourself which bill can be paid late this month. In their world, high rates are a tool. In your world, high rates are the reason you cannot breathe. Brutal truth number 4. You are living in a two-speed economy. Big investors can adjust, they shift money into bonds, money market funds, and assets that pay higher yield when rates are high. They read Fed statements, reposition, and sometimes even benefit from this environment. Meanwhile, many households are sinking deeper into debt just to keep the same standard of living. The result is an economy that looks healthy from far away, but feels sick up close. Brutal truth number 5. Waiting for the Fed to save you is financial self-sabotage. You hear rumors about future rate cuts. You see headlines asking when the Fed will finally ease up. You start to think that if you just hold on a little longer, things will get cheaper. Here's the harsh reality. Even if rates start falling later this year, they are not going back to the ultra-cheap levels you got used to. The era of free money is over. The new normal is higher for longer. Sitting still and waiting for a policy meeting to fix your life is a disguised form of giving up. Brutal truth number 6. High rates are silently rewriting your future plans. That house you thought about buying, that business you dreamed of, starting that idea of retiring comfortably. Every one of those dreams runs through the cost of borrowing. When rates stay high, monthly payments blow up, and many dreams die quietly before even becoming a serious plan. You are not just paying more interest, you are paying with options you will never see again. Retention bridge. Stop thinking about the Fed for a second. Look at your own money habits in this new world. Here is a question you've probably never asked yourself. If rates never went down again, how long could you survive living exactly the way you live today? That question hurts because it exposes something most people hide from. You were building a life that only worked when money was cheap. Brutal truth number 7. The real risk is not high rates. It is your old behavior in a new reality. You are still making decisions as if you live in the era of near zero rates. You swipe the card the same way, you sign loans the same way, you ignore fine print the same way. But the underlying rules changed. What was manageable debt 5 years ago can be a lifetime prison sentence today, purely because of interest. High rates do not forgive mistakes, they multiply them. Brutal truth number 8. Most people will only wake up when it is too late. They will keep ignoring headlines about the Fed. They will keep rolling over balances. They will keep living in a house of cards built on variable rates and minimum payments. The day something breaks, they will blame the economy, the government, their job, anything except their own refusal to adapt. You can already see this playing out in rising household debt and growing stress about affordability across the country. Brutal truth number 9. The Fed cares about the average, you have to care about the extreme. When officials say the economy is resilient, they are talking about aggregate data. They look at national numbers, not your number in your bank account. You do not live as an average, you live as one person in one household with one set of bills. If you fail, there is no true footnote in their report. There is just your real life collapsing. High rates might be necessary for the system, but they can still be deadly for individuals who refuse to take them seriously. Brutal truth number 10. The Fed will eventually pivot, but if you do not, it will not matter. At some point, inflation will cool enough, and the Fed will start cutting rates. Headlines will celebrate, markets will rally, commentators will talk about relief, but here is the final blow. If you spend this period of high rates sleepwalking, by the time policy finally moves in your favor, you will be too far behind to use it. You will be the person who needed low rates the most, but was too busy ignoring high rates when they could have been your wake-up call. Here is your choice. You cannot control the Fed. You cannot control the meeting calendar. The statements, are the rate decisions, but you can control how seriously you take this moment. You can stop pretending this is temporary. You can adjust your behavior to a world where money is not cheap anymore. If you do nothing after watching this, high rates will just be one more excuse you use to explain why your life never changed. If you decide that today is the day you stop living like rates are low and start thinking like someone who takes this new reality seriously, this painful period can become your advantage. If this hits you harder than any motivation video, do not just nod and scroll. Prove to yourself that you heard the message. Make one concrete decision today that respects the reality of high rates instead of living in the fantasy of cheap money.